Hello YouTube, Mike Woggeman here, Mushroom Rangers. Just an update, a course thing. So as you can see, I inoculated this blue oyster into the rye grain at 10, 11, 20. And as you can see, it's growing down. I had 2 inoculation points. I had 2 mycelial agar wedges. I put 2 in each. As you can see, they're all growing. Then about a week later, about 9 days, I created 8 more, and I did the exact same thing. 2 inoculation points, 2 inoculation points. As you can see, the mycelium is growing, and it will replicate this. The problem with agar wedges is it takes about 2 to 3 weeks because it's a slow grower. But if I did liquid culture, it would grow in a lot faster and a lot quicker. However, though, with agar, you know it's clean. If you get your liquid culture contaminated, you'll know within about 2 days. So this is the process. You start one batch. A week later, you start another batch. This weekend, I'm going to start another batch. So what happens, I have a progressive system. As these are growing in full colonization, these are starting to colonize. And then these will just start off colonizing. So as it goes, full colonization, halfway colonization, starting colonization. It's a hard word to say. And then when these are fully colonized, I'll put them in the bags. And then when I put them in the bags, what'll happen is I'll put them in here, and then as they colonize. So this will be the first round. And when they're about 2 weeks fully colonized, hopefully these will be colonized within a week. And then I can transfer them into the fruiting chamber. And when I put them in the fruiting chamber, what happens is I'll have a flush. So when they're fully colonized over there, I'll bring them in here in the fruiting chamber parameters and line them up. So this will be the fully colonized, and then they'll fruit them out about a week or so, and then I'll bring the second one in, and then I'll put it in here, and it'll colonize a week after the first ones. So you get this constant, steady flow of mushrooms. These are king oysters, and they will be ready by about Saturday to a client. Some more king oysters, some blue oysters. Now we're going to a potential client. They're not the best, but they're just a test. Or a taste test, or a a d'oeuvre, what you would say. So I would give them to them just to get them on the taste, and that'll be free. The next flush will be better. So it's just samples, and that's the way you do things. Just sample, time after time, keep producing, and then you get some mushrooms. As you can see, I already got mushrooms. And then the next step is, how can I explain this simply? Okay. This block, on the first flush, the mycelium will exhaust all its energy and all the water and all the food into the first flush. Usually out of the top or out of the side. However, you can get a second flush from the bottom. The reason why you can get a second flush from the bottom is because as density and gravity happens, when you fill these blocks full, water or excess water will flow to the bottom of the bag. So, if they fruit out of the top of the bag, they're only using half of the water. After they use half of the water, you just flip it upside down and get the other half of the water that has been gravitated or sunk to the bottom. So, in theory, the bottom part of your block has more water and nutrients versus the top, because it'll grow up, it'll suck from that, whereas the reservoir from the bottom down will have a little bit more water and about the same nutrients. So if you can achieve both a good flush on the top and a good flush on the bottom, that's where your money is. Exact same way if you cut here or cut a circle, triangle, or whatever you want to cut. This is going to take from the most part. So if I flip it over again and cut the same amount of square area, it should give me about the same poundage, just as the top as the bottom, the top and the bottom. So that's how you increase your yields and make the most out of your blocks. And if they don't work, that's fine. What's going to happen to these guys, if they don't work, they're just going to get thrown out in the garden. And in the spring, I'll have wild mushrooms. So, again, this is how you do things. Simple science. You repeat. You fail. You learn. And then you grow mushrooms. So, blessed be and keep it fungi.